I'm here with Clayton Check, the author of A Field Guide to Tequila, a brand new book that just came out. And I heard that you scored a really amazing photographer for this book.
Yeah, we were very, very lucky to get this guy, kind of new in the tequila world, but an up-and-comer named Grover Sanchagrin. We were very, very lucky to get him.
Heard of this guy.
Well, I was ecstatic that you wanted to do it, and I think for me, one of the most important pieces was to highlight the human element of tequila and get some nice evocative portraits in there of the people who make the products that we love, and in particular to sort of see a little bit of the generational succession and the newer people coming on board, and what they keep the same and what they might be changing from their parents' days. And I know that you had some experiences working with a number of producers in that respect.
Yeah, I mean, like it was cool to see the family dynamic kind of playing out right before me, and then trying to encourage that in the photos so that we could capture that. One of my favorite stories was with the Camarena girls. So the three sisters at La Alteña, and I tried to set this up with all three of them. There's Jenny, Lily, and Gabby, and they're not often always at the distillery together.
Right.
That's like very rare. So it took several weeks to get an appointment set up so that
I
they
remember,
would all
it was stressful.
be there. And
because this was also one of the last shots that we did.
Yeah. And then when I got there, I think everybody was sort of confused as to like what should we do, and so in the beginning it started off very like
stiff,
posed and stuff like that, and by the end I realized between the takes, like when I wasn't shooting the photos, they were just being sisters and having fun and goofing off together, and I just kind of like laid back and just started shooting pictures of them just being sisters, and ended up I like those pictures the best. They didn't really get used in the book, but I did prepare a large body of stuff from every single shoot that the editors could choose from, so editors always know best. Right?
Well, and it's interesting that you say the one that is in the book isn't one of the ones you're talking about, because to me, the one that did make the book does seem very natural and very playful in a way that I like, and I think is very different from the other photos in the book.
Yeah. I really enjoyed my time with them, and you could tell that they really liked being together, and it was a nice glimpse into their family.
So that was the three sisters at La Alteña. Of course, staying within the Camarena family, you also shot both Carlos and his daughters at the new Ocho distillery of Los Alambiques.
Right. In this particular case, Fanny is working with her dad like all the time, and she's definitely an apprentice learning under him. And so I just got to kind of hang with them and go about their work together, and shot a variety of different scenes. I shot them each individual and then together. And in the book, they only used a picture of Carlos, but there's like some cool father-daughter imagery that I also was able to shoot. That was pretty fun.
Were there any other distilleries outside of the Camarena family? Were there any other distilleries where you were able to get two generations together?
Who was the other one? Oh, the Cascoin. Cascoin.
Salvador and Chava.
Yeah. Now I've shot them before together, like at Catas, tasting side by side and stuff like that. But this was a chance I got to kind of go and get pictures of them working together. And it's interesting to see how much respect the young Chava has for his dad, and how he's kind of taking what his dad did and bringing the business into the current day, and they're having so much success right now. I can tell that family dynamic is really healthy, and it was good to witness and experience.
And then you also shot the uncle-nephew team of Sergio and Enrique Fonseca.
That was cool, because I got to spend the whole day with, and I just worship Enrique. I think he's like the best tequila maker on the planet right now, and he's very patient and kind and willing to share his knowledge and stuff like that. So in between the photo shoots, I was like asking him for tips on production and stuff like that, like for my own use. But I thought that the photos of them together were cool because they don't really have photos of them together. I learned this after the fact. The day I spent with them, later on, they were requesting from me, like, hey, can we use those photos for Instagram and stuff like that? Because we just don't have pictures of them together. So that was fun.
great.
And then a picture of them did make the book, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. And then I think the final one of two generations together that made the book were the Orendines at Arete, Jaime and Lalo, Eduardo.
Yeah. That was cool. I mean, like we shot throughout their distillery, but the place that was the best was this barrel room. The barrel room has this, obviously you've been there, but like this giant sliding door that opens up, and all this really great natural light comes in. Yeah. And but now you know what, they put up a gate in there, so that photo that I shot, you can't shoot that anymore because there's a big iron gate there now.
Take that, other photographers.
So but that was cool too, because you know it was another generational experience, and I think that made the book too, right?
Yeah, they're both in their photo. Now, and another question, of course, Fortaleza is a very generational brand, and Billy is of course a big part of the brand, although he wasn't at the photo shoot. But you had a story about using the drone with Guillermo at Fortaleza.
You know, I go to Fortaleza all the time, and so trying to come up with something new with Guillermo is always something. I thought, oh, what if I just go out in the agave field with him and I bring the drone? So I brought the drone and I tried to fly it out there, and I quickly realized it's just not going to cut it. The dogs were like, all upset about the drone, and then it was like the high noon sun. Everything looked like raccoon eyes and stuff. It was not great. So I just kind of bailed on that, and then we ended up going back into the bottling line. And he was just kind of walking around the place, and he picked up a bottle and he started looking at it, and I said, "Oh, stop right there." And like I just positioned myself and shot a few frames of him looking through at the bottling.
And that ended up being a very large format photo in the book, aside from his profile.
Yeah,
photo.
They didn't use it for a portrait. They used it as a section cover,
like a
thing.
chapter heading or something. I think he looks great.
Yeah, so I mean, I had a great time doing it, and I had plenty of time, right? Like I had like 2 years to go and shoot stuff. You gave me a big long shot list, and then I would just chip away at it, as I was out and about. And it was good. It was good to see my stuff in print again after so many years.
Well, thank you for doing it. I was, like I said, ecstatic that you wanted to do it, and I was blown away that you shot everything fresh and new for the book, didn't use anything that you had previously shot before. And I thought that it looked fantastic, but it meant more to me that when the physical book got here, you said that you thought it looked great, because I know you have a higher standard for the visuals than I do. So that was a relief and made me very happy.
Yeah, the book looks great. I'm really happy to be part of it. And next time you do a book, look me up.
Thank you.